A good bounce-back victory for us today. We felt that, we had an opportunity to win the first game in the series. They made the plays down the stretch. We didn't. And today we got off to another fantastic start. We maintained the lead at halftime. The second half they made a run. They're a good team. But we kept our wits about us. We continued to play hard and got a good victory, our first conference win of the season. And now I told them the same thing I did after we lost our first game. We have a quick turnaround. We have to have an NBA mentality. Enjoy this for tonight, but we have to go to work tomorrow because we play on Thursday.
Thank you, Coach. We're going to start first with Ben Fletcher.
Hey, Coach. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
How nice was it to see these guys respond in the second half? I think like 11 minutes, Colorado State went on another one of those 14-0 runs. Then Matt hit a big shot. Then Jordan set the whole gym on fire. How nice was it to see these guys respond like that?
It's always good when the ball goes in. It makes life easier because we always guard at a high level. But sometimes the ball doesn't go in, and that's where we have to rely on our defense. As a coach, I told them, don't let me rain on your parade. We always have a way of not being happy the way it ended, wanting to win by more, play better, longer periods. And so as coaches, we usually find fault, but we couldn't find fault in our effort. We couldn't find fault in how hard we prepared in our day off to kind of right the ship and get a victory over a good Colorado State team.
And then it seemed to me like the refs really tried to take the ball out of there a little bit. I don't know if it was on purpose, but how did you feel that game was officiated? And did that take away any momentum in the second half you had?
These are three really good refs. But basketball, there's always calls that if they go against you, you're going to be upset. And so most of the time, they get them right when you go back and watch tape. So this is a really good crew, and good teams play beyond officiating. So even if we thought we didn't get a call, we need to just keep playing, knowing that at the end of the day, the fate of the game is going to be in our hands.
And then question for Jordan real quick. Jordan, as someone who's never had that feeling, what's it like when threes start going in like that? Like, what's the feeling you get?
Just keep shooting, I guess I would say. I don't really get a feeling. Most of the time it's just next play mentality, whether they go in or not, because if you start feeling good when you hit them, you tend to feel bad when they're not going in. So just try to stay level-headed the whole game no matter what.
All right, thanks, guys. Congrats.
Next up, we have Troy Hirsch.
This question is for Jordan. Jordan, congrats on the win. I'm wondering how well, or if any, did you get sleep on Saturday and Sunday night for this game, and your mental preparation as you came off that loss before this game?
If I heard you right, I heard you say something about sleep. So after the game, normally after games don't really sleep well, especially after a game like that. Didn't really get a lot of sleep, but last night made sure to go to bed early, take care of what I could take care of, and put myself in the best position. So last night I got a great night's sleep. But yeah.
And I'll sleep good tonight.
Well, mostly just wondering, the game you had on Saturday as a team, blowing the lead, then you have another 26-point lead again today at halftime. When you went into the halftime locker room, was there any talk about just keeping the foot on the gas this time?
Yeah, we knew we had to keep our foot on the gas. Never want what happened on Saturday to happen again. And we just control what we can control. I think we played all right. We just have to execute better and, lock up more on defense.
And then a question for Coach Dutcher, kind of alluding to what Ben had asked about a player in the zone like Jordan seemed to be going in. When you see a player like that, is there a concerted effort on you and the players to get that guy the ball and keep feeding him the ball?
Yeah, obviously I have to call plays that continue to get the hot hand the ball, but at the same time, his teammates know he's hot. And so some of basketball is not diagrammed. It's playing together, knowing each other's tendencies, knowing where Jordan likes the ball, how to get him open shots, and it's just high IQ players finding the hot hand, and they did that tonight with Jordan.
Thank you both.
You're up, Mark.
I'll start with you, Dutch, since you're right there. Tactically, what did you do differently today? It seemed like you were, trying to get it inside and maybe not settling as much, getting it to Nathan.
Yeah, we threw it inside the first game, and that created a lot of three-point opportunities for us. They were doubling. This game, they did a better job of not coming right away, and the inside-out game wasn't quite as good as it was the first game. I thought we had some success, again, on the fast break, keeping the ball hot. We ran shooters along the baseline to try to give them looks, and we just mixed ball screens, post touches, and some baseline running to try to get opportunities to shoot the ball. And the thing is, I thought we did is we got off the play right away. Like if you didn't have the shot, you moved it. And that's what we have to do. We have to keep the ball hot and then play quicker at the offensive end.
Defensively, it seemed like you got up into them a little bit more.
Yeah, we pressured harder. We pressured without getting back cut. You know, they're very good at back cutting, so we didn't want to really deny the wings. We pressured the ball out top. This game, to start the game, we doubled the side ball screen. The first game, we switched it. So we doubled the side ball screen to force them out away from the basket, and then we switched everything up top like we did the first game. I think the key to the game is when they rolled us inside this game, we did a better job of fronting and keeping it out of there. And I thought that was a real difference, especially in the first half.
And last thing for you, Dutch, you were without AG in the first game and for a lot of this game, but they were without Kendall Moore. Just talk about the disruption of not having a starter. I mean, they probably, felt it a little bit tonight.
Oh, yeah. Moore's a very good player. So whenever you're missing a player, I mean, Keshad, from that fall he had in the first game, was unavailable for us today. He fell on his shoulder, and then AG, even though he was playing, he asked to come out because he was feeling a little under the weather still. So it's always best to be at full strength, but when you're not, you just have to play with what you have, and what we had tonight was enough.
One question for Jordan. In the last 2-3 minutes of Saturday's game, you were kind of caught in a couple defensive situations. Obviously, everyone saw the three-point shot. I know your next play mentality, but how much extra aggression did you have tonight? Wanting a little bit of redemption after that.
I just think I learned that you gotta be mentally locked in at all times. Not that I wasn't, but just at a more intense level. What happened at the end of the game, just to make sure that never happens again. I wouldn't say it was any more aggression. I just think it was more mentally telling myself this is exactly where you need to be. Constantly talking to myself, making sure that doesn't happen again.
Thank you.
Hey, Jordan, I wanted to ask you a little bit about your rebounding tonight. You led the team in reboundings with 9. Was that part of your preparation before, or was that more just the ball bouncing your direction?
I think sometimes you get lucky. The ball bounces in the right direction, and we have a lot of guys that box out, and when you box out, you don't necessarily get the ball every time. I was a beneficiary of a lot of good bounces tonight. I think that was the reason why.
Okay. And Coach, you had mentioned throughout the week, Coach Dutcher, about finding it interesting that you were going to be able to play in a series like this. And do you have any just initial thoughts on the new scheduling format that the Mountain West put in?
Obviously, the prep time is not bad because you've spent 2 days getting ready for that team. And so you're making just more quick adjustments. When we didn't have back-to-back games, you might have to get in the film room and get ready for the next game. So that's what we'll do leading into Nevada. So we'll spend a lot of time the next 2 days getting ready for them. But that day in between games is just to make adjustments. So that part, the second game, is a little easier to prepare for from an X and O standpoint.
And then, Matt, you had 5 shot attempts today, but you're obviously very efficient. Was that an adjustment that you made from game 1 to game 2, or just like kind of your offensive mindset tonight?
No, I wouldn't say it was an adjustment I made to take less shots. I just saw different holes and different spots for me to be able to get my teammates the ball. Going through film, just seeing the double coming at me in the post, and them sending guys, sending 2 every time. So I'm trying to find other guys, get them a shot, and just keep the ball moving, keep the ball hot. That's what we talk about in the locker room. So I can't worry about my shots. I'm not worried about taking 10, 20 shots a game. So I'm just trying to get a win.
Perfect. Thank you.
Darnay?
With Mitch, how satisfying is it to get a win like this after what happened Saturday, and for you guys to kind of finish things off the way you did tonight?
Very satisfying. I think that we bounced back well. We came together as an entire program and knew that we really dropped the ball on Saturday and knew that we couldn't do it again.
I would assume you never go into these games expecting to have a 26, 28 point lead in the first half. What was it like? I mean, to do that back-to-back nights, is it kind of strange to find yourself in that position again this evening?
I don't think it's strange to find ourselves in that position again. Just knowing that we did it the first time, I felt that we knew that we could do it again. All we had to do was put our minds together, go out there, give it 100% effort, and I see the results came out again as well. So,
what was kind of the mindset of the team as they were making that push in the second half?
Very focused, very locked in. I think these guys really just didn't want to drop the ball again, really just wanted to get a win and wanted to send a message to not only to ourselves but also to the rest of the conference, just letting them know that we're here and we're real.
Thanks, Matt. And one for Dutch. Obviously, I've never been in a position where you're coaching while your team is rolling in the first half the way they were tonight and 2 nights ago. Did it feel any different this time around on the heels of what happened Saturday? I know you're probably as locked in as ever, but what was it like for you to be in that spot again 2 nights later, given what happened on Saturday?
We're just trying to make sure we don't give them a run to end the half like happened the first game, and we just have to play harder defensively and stay focused at the defensive end where if the ball doesn't go in, where it did in the first game, we got a little cold from the field, that we don't start giving up baskets. And so this program's built on defense and rebounding, and I think we showed that we were a lot tougher at the end of the first half at the defensive end.
Thank you.
Andrew Finley?
Hey, Coach, congrats on the win. Going into halftime, you guys were up 26. That was the same size lead you guys had on Saturday. What was your message to your team at halftime?
Just, continue to play at a high level, play like it's 0-0 to start the second half. I mean, that's coaching cliche. It's what most coaches will say. When you're playing well, play it like it's 0-0, start like it's a new game, and maintain your defensive intensity. As much as we talk about offense, stay focused at the defensive end because we can play great offense and the ball still doesn't go in. But usually if you play great defense, you're rewarded. So continue to focus at the defensive end and share the ball at the offensive end.
And were there any big adjustments you made from Saturday's game to today's game against Colorado State?
There weren't a whole lot of adjustments. We played pretty well the first game against Colorado State. Built a big lead and felt like with a 7-point lead and just over a minute to go, we kind of let the game slip away from us. So I thought we played well both games, and I'd have to look back. I mean, we've gone back-to-back games with 14 threes, and I think we'll be hard to beat if we continue to shoot the ball from three like that.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach.
Doug Fletcher?
Quick question for Matt, if that's okay. Matt, Coach mentioned that that he and Jordan spoke to the team yesterday or the day before. What was said when they spoke?
We just talked about getting into the other team and how that couldn't happen again. We just talked about our focus, our concentration, and the fact that we got to be a more mature team.
Cool, that's it. Thank you.
Last one is going to go to Mark.
Matt, you were out with fouls when Jordan got hot for much of it, but it looked like you were celebrating more than anybody on the sideline. What's that like for you when you see that?
I'm just happy for my guys, and especially happy for Jordan because he's been with me since I got here. We're road dogs, and he's my running mate for this year. And to see him shine, see him score the ball, shoot the ball like that, especially in Viejas, and it's just it's a lighthearted thing, and so I'm happy for him.
And one quick one for Dutch. You talked a lot about adjustments. How do you I'm sure your assistants come and you guys get around and there's 400 things you think you can do differently after the first game. How do you decide what's, when too much is too much? I mean, how do you sort of pare it down? And is there, can you have analysis paralysis if you do too much?
Yeah, usually most game preps is how you want to play ball screens and how you're going to help in the post. And so we tweaked how we guarded ball screens. I told him, even though we're guarding them different to start the game, I 100% believe in the way we played them the first game. But I said, with a day off, let's give them a different look to start the game where they're not comfortable saying they're switching every ball screen. Let's give them something different the first 5 minutes. And I also told them, but I'm not afraid to go back and say we're switching every ball screen like we did the first game. We had a good game plan. And so that's the beauty of the staff that I've got working with me. We prepare hard like most coaches do, but I think the game plans we come up with are effective. They give our team the best chance to win, and we will continue to put the work in to put these guys in the best position they can be in to get victories for San Diego State.